All right, everybody, welcome to BO Boys for Sunday, January 11th. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live in studio. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, and I'm Pat, and happy Primate Day to everyone. We did see Primate boots on the ground report from Primate. And boots now, just, I got to take us
Pause
behind
on the lanai.
Got to take us behind the scenes when we say boots, because Clayton, before we got on air, you told me, don't do this.
Okay.
Don't do my famous foot wiggle.
Yeah.
Because I got newish boots, and they still squeak a little bit if I wiggle.
Yes.
So we are YouTubers. Hey, guys. So to all the YouTube viewers, I know they love my wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
They come here in large part for the wiggle, but I cannot wiggle. I can't do that.
You shouldn't do that.
I shouldn't do that.
No.
So I know, and it's innate to me. It's like telling Bruce, don't wiggle the bottom. I can't wiggle my foot, and I won't do it. But we do have boots on the ground from Primate. And it's also Golden Globes Day today.
It is.
It is.
Do you think Ben opens the Globes?
That's how you start the Globe. So the host is what? It's Nikki Glazer. Mm-hmm. She's leaving the table at the Comedy Cellar to come host the Golden Globes for one night only. And I think she's got to open up.
Here's the opening bit.
Okay.
I know the bit. I know.
Give us the cold open of the Globes.
It's not the cold open.
Okay.
But she comes out on stage. She starts doing her jokes.
Okay.
And they're
killing, right?
No. They're not doing too well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And from the audience, you hear, what's her name again? Nikki?
Yeah.
Nikki, bad. Nikki, bad. It's Ben using his iPad.
He's got his famous iPad.
And she's like, okay, Ben, I'll bring out the good jokes.
Yeah.
Calm down.
I love that.
All right. And then everybody's cheering. They're going nuts.
Yeah, I love that.
And then she tells a great joke, kills, and he goes, Nikki, funny.
Nikki, funny. Nikki, funny. Oh, yeah. I love that. See, what I love about that, and by the time this airs, the Golden Globes will have aired. So we will know whether or not they did the right thing and made this the open of the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
I love that it shows Ben from Primate and just the variety that he has within him, because he doesn't always have to go nuts.
No.
Sometimes he could just get on the iPad.
Go nuts?
Go nuts. Go bananas.
Thank you.
Go bananas. Right. He's not a squirrel. He's a chimp. And he's not a gorilla.
No.
I guess. Who knows?
Yeah.
No one knows for sure. But
well, scientists know for sure.
Do they? Who knows what they know? We're disproven science every day.
That's true. Yeah, there's scientific discoveries every day, but they never talk about how many scientific findings are debunked every day.
Yes. So we just...
Of course they wouldn't.
They probably just haven't talked about how gorillas, chimps, it's all the same.
Yeah.
So, but it does show Ben, he could tear your face apart, but he could also just get on the iPad, withering critique.
Yeah.
Nikki, bad. I love it. That has to be the open of the Golden Globes.
But he also does murder Statler and Waldorf in the balcony.
Yes.
Because they steal his bit. They do one joke taunting her. Next thing you know, you hear, and then
Ben rips the puppet face.
Ben's holding Statler's jaw in the balcony.
There is going to be like the 500th.
And he says, Muppets. Lame.
Muppets lame.
Yeah.
Muppets IP dead.
Dead.
Muppets IP dead.
Although Seth Rogen is doing that new Muppet show, so it's not so dead.
I was going to say, but how many times are we going to reboot these Muppets?
And how many freaks and
Muppets
geeks?
Dead.
How many freaks and geeks cast members are going to reboot the Muppets? Is Linda Cardellini next?
I mean, I'd watch that, obviously, but was there something in the water on that set?
They all love the Muppets.
They all love the Muppets?
Yeah.
I mean, once you get to Franco rebooting the Muppets, then you know that is officially Muppets dead. Muppets dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he could somehow cast the Muppets in one of his Faulkner books that he hasn't adapted yet?
He may have already done it and we just don't know.
Or be a movie about cruising or something. Like,
right.
That's his two modes.
Right. It could have been Animals already starred in a Faulkner adaptation directed by James Franco. It's like, how would you know if that happened?
There's no way to know.
There's no way to know. There is a way to know, though, what the top 5 were at the box office this weekend. There is one way to know, and that is for you, Clayton, to give us a plow for the box office weekend of Friday, January 9th, 2026.
Number one, Avatar, Fire and Ash made $21.3 million, down 49%. It lost 135 theaters. It's at $342.5 million in its fourth weekend. Number two, PRIMATE made $11.3 million in its first frame. Number three, The HOUSEMAID made $11.2 million, down 26%. It added 53 theaters. It's at $94.1 million in its fourth weekend of release. Number four, Zootopia 2 made $10.1 million, down 48%. It lost 85 theaters. It's at $378.8 million in its seventh weekend of release. Number five, a newbie, Greenland 2 Migration, made $8.5 million in its first weekend. Number six, Marty Supreme, made $7.6 million, down 39%. It lost 375 theaters. It's at $70.1 million in its fourth weekend of release. Number seven, Anaconda made $5.1 million, down 49%. It lost 434 theaters. It's at $54.2 million in its third weekend of release. Number eight, the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants, made $3.8 million, down 54%. It lost 650 theaters. It's at $63.6 million in its fourth weekend of release. Number nine, David, made $3 million, down 60%. It lost 425 theaters. It's at $75.1 million in its fourth weekend of release. And number 10, Song Sung Blue, made $3 million, down 49%. It hemorrhaged theaters, losing 443 theaters. It's at $31.1 million in its third weekend of release. And that is your top 10.
So at number 10, Song Sung Blue, could it get a bump if Kate Hudson pulls off the unthinkable and wins a Globe tonight?
That feels like its chance now. We were both more bullish on this holding better than it did.
Yeah.
The issue here, I think, is very older skewing.
Mm-hmm.
Greenland came in. That's an older skewing movie. And then HOUSEMAID is just so powerful. I think it's the HOUSEMAID audience that is making Song Sung Blue sort of irrelevant.
And Song Sung Blue, 30 million. The budget was 30 million. It'll end up being fine. It'll be fine, but not fine.
It's just not going to take off in the way that it could.
Yeah. There's only the Christmas corridor could let a lot of movies be successful, but there still is going to be at some point a limit. And
yes,
HOUSEMAID is so huge. Marty Supreme is doing really well. Avatar, Zootopia, Anaconda doing so much better than I think any of us thought it was going to do.
It's over 100 million worldwide.
Yeah.
So altogether.
So I think there was a point where Song Sung Blue has been kind of like the fifth choice or so these last 3 weeks.
And listen, that is the environment in which movies will thrive and die.
Yes.
But it's better that a movie isn't getting as many people to watch it in theaters because there's so many other things they want to see.
Yes.
Because then that's when that movie got released in theaters. People see it on PVOD. They see it on the streamer and they say, oh, that movie was in theaters. I want to see this now. And it still enables these movies to get made.
Yes.
Because this movie did make $30 million in theaters, which it could have made $7 million.
Yes.
Now, it's not going to do that with the cast, because I do think there's just an innate interest in The Greatest Showman.
Yes, and Hugh Jackman.
Jackman. He does have an older audience that love him.
But a lot of them, they were going to see The HOUSEMAID. That is definitely the main thing. But yeah, maybe if Kate Hudson pulls it off, wins a Globe, that gets a little more shine.
Then it goes over David, SpongeBob, Anaconda. It maybe gets sort of a bump there.
Yeah. And Anaconda, Anaconda, 54 million domestic, over 100 worldwide. The budget on this wasn't that big. I mean, this is a solid double for Sony. And again, it is Jack Black just showing who the hell he is, which is a legit movie star.
And I know people are saying this is an IP.
It's not an IP.
It really
it's an
is an
IP, but
IP.
it's not.
Kids don't know Anaconda. We know Anaconda.
Right.
But a 15-year-old has never seen Anaconda.
Yes. If you just did a Deep Blue Sea reboot and it wasn't Jack Black and Paul Rudd, it would open to $2 million.
Yeah, you made that as a comedy.
Nothing.
And it's just not going to, it wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The Anaconda is successful to whatever extent it is because of Jack Black.
Yes.
And
Jack Black, the Anaconda IP is that dead boar that they put on Jack Black I'm sure in the movie, but also in the trailer, that he has to run with it on his back. And that is the power of Jack Black, is that he took a dead, rotting boar, which is the Anaconda IP, and made it to 100 million worldwide.
Yes.
In a atmosphere where comedies don't do anything.
Yes. Yeah. No, this is Jack Black just kind of just showing off at this point, getting Anaconda over 100. I want to just jump right into what we saw today.
PRIMATE.
Let's talk PRIMATE.
Okay.
Because we saw this in theaters. We saw a Sunday morning showing, which I thought was lovely. I don't do that much, seeing an 11:30 a.m. movie on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Before we even get into the movie, first off, we were in a movie theater in AMC where they had the full lay flat recline. And
dangerous.
I think this should be the norm. I love
100%.
a lay flat. And there's so many variations. Some theaters you go in and the recline it just props your legs up slightly where it almost makes it more uncomfortable.
Yes.
Some of them goes a little higher, but we were in the full first class. You're flying, a 15-hour flight to India, sort of like you got to lay flat.
Yeah.
And that is the way to just see anything.
The range of motion gives you the ability, if you like the awkward half down that most of the other ones are, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's why it should always be full.
Yeah.
You could have any variation that your weird spine wants.
Give us the choice.
We're lay flat guys.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And
our body, our choice for these reclining seats.
And the people right next to us, this is not a very packed theater, but we somehow had two people right next to us.
I know. And when we bought our tickets, I'll just say this. When we reserved our tickets on the AMC A-List app, the seats next to us were empty. So these two people, and God bless them, they went to a movie on a Sunday. We love them. But they chose to get two seats next to two already occupied seats.
Well, here's two thoughts on this. One being, they may have just gotten whatever. They might have sat in whatever seats they wanted to sit in, and then we showed up and they
already were
there, and they didn't want to get up and move because they didn't want to offend us. I don't know. There's a possibility. What I'll say about these two individuals who were sitting next to us.
And God bless them.
God bless
them.
them.
A movie on a Sunday.
Younger people.
Yes.
They were probably in their 20s or maybe early 30s. I do think they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. These people of that age get so much flack about they're on their phone the whole time and they talk and they have no respect.
Oh, he's eating chicken wings in a theater.
Yeah. These two, they had anytime they checked their phone, which was like maybe once, light down, dark. I was like, how can you even see what's on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say a word, whispered to each other. The most this person did was put lip balm on.
Mm-hmm.
They were so chill.
Mm-hmm.
This whole theater was mostly young people who were enjoying this film and completely respected the theatrical experience.
Yes.
And this is a horror movie, and horror movies sometimes can get a little rambunctious, which I'm okay with because I know that's part of the charm. But they were locked in this whole time and respectful of this artistry that was unfolding in front of us.
And there was, I don't know if I would assume you had this thought going into this movie because famously, me and you have had a bad experience in an AMC with a ape movie. We famously saw, was it War? Whatever the third of that Planet of the Apes original trilogy, which I guess now was a quadrology because they continued it.
Well, it's the Franco trilogy.
The third of the Franco trilogy, which we were so excited. We love those first two movies in the Franco trilogy. I love those movies that he happens to be in, but we do refer to it as the James Franco trilogy. We saw that third movie, And it was a shit show of an audience. It was, everyone knows this. It'll be well documented in our memoirs that the audience somehow came there and were confused when the apes talked.
Yes.
They did not know that the third of this Planet of the Apes trilogy, which was probably the 11th Planet of the Apes movie ever, would have talking apes.
Yes.
And terrible viewing experience. So did you, going into seeing Primate today in an AMC, look around, see that it was a bunch of people there? Did you get a little nervous that you were about to go through that again? Because it was very traumatic for you. I rolled with it. I'm fine. But you had a very tough time with that third in the Franco Apes trilogy experience.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't have that thought. I really didn't.
Okay.
I didn't look at this as just another ape movie. I didn't think of it that way. And I sort of, we sat next to these people who were there, and that at first I was like, oh my gosh, this must be, what's going on here? Why would they do this?
Yeah.
And then even through the previews, they were chill. So I was like,
Yep.
this is fine.
It's fine.
I know, even though I'm like basically in bed with this person because we're lying flat
Right.
and there's no real separation between it. There's like an arm, but, the arm's not going to do it. The arm doesn't stop anybody from doing anything.
When you're in 4 side-by-side lay flats in an AMC, you're basically sharing
King-size bed.
a king-size bed.
Mhm.
Maybe a California king. Maybe it's
Yeah.
a little bigger, but it's like, it's not as big as Shaq's bed.
No.
Like Shaq's bed that he sleeps in, I don't know if it's by himself or with other people, his bed is bigger than 4 AMC seat lay flats.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in it. You're laying in bed together.
Yeah.
And it was great. They were great bedmates.
Yes.
They were great bedmates. I mean, I would say everyone in the theater had a great time at Primate today.
Yeah.
It was could I say, and we're not critics, huh?
Huh?
But we saw the movie, so we're gonna be a little bit critical. I loved it.
Yeah.
Would you say you also loved?
I loved
Primate?
it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
It's an 89-minute movie
89.
that gives you exactly what you want.
Yes. It was better than I thought it would be. Well, okay, can we just get into, because I'm sure whoever's listening, whoever's watching us on YouTube, hey guys.
Well, the world it's Primate Mania, right?
Yes.
I mean, I know the NFL playoffs are going on and there's like a big comeback.
Who cares? It's
Chicago Bears, whatever. People are talking about Ben. People are talking about Primates.
They're talking about gorillas, not bears.
Well, they're not talking about gorillas. They're talking about chimps, which is what
chimps. Okay.
Ben is.
Yes. I'll say it again. Ben is a chimp.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think, though, everyone who's listening, who's watching, they're saying, just get to, was it a blowjob? Was it not a blowjob? So
yeah.
I'm going to throw up spoiler alert, spoiler warning, but we have to do it. We saw it and we have to now settle it. Was it a blowjob or not? So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you want to find out for yourself, see Primate yourself to discover whether or not Ben blew one of the characters before he killed him in that infamous bed scene from the trailer. We're going to reveal it now.
Yes.
So here we go. Spoiler alert. It was not a blowjob.
No. But there was a heavily how do I put
Not an
this?
implication. It never was even
No,
implied
but
that he was blowing him. Well,
there was some tension there. There was some tension there.
There was tension. There was the line. And again, spoiler alert for the next minute or so. We got to dissect this scene from Primate.
Buy me dinner first.
The buy me dinner first line.
Yeah.
I guess the thing was, in the trailer, I thought it was going to be full single white female.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't know that the chimp,
Yes.
all right, the chimp is under the covers. He thinks that he's getting blown by a person.
Yeah.
And then the reveal is that was Ben the whole time, and then Ben
bites it off,
kills him, whatever.
Yeah.
And in the movie, there was never even that moment. He knew Ben was on top of him in the bed immediately.
Yes.
So it was, I, from the trailer, thought that was Ben's head under sheets. It was Ben's head under like a
canopy bed.
A canopy
Yeah, there's
curtain.
a canopy curtain, a canopy
Yeah.
bed, which is, of course, like my dream bed. I was never allowed to have a canopy bed when I was, I wouldn't even ask for one.
Oh, see, that's my
Yeah.
nightmare. I don't.
I would love a canopy.
I have a great marriage. We're totally on the same page on most things. It's gonna last forever. But we have had disagreements in the past about a canopy bed.
Is she wanted one and you said no?
I have said I can't do a canopy bed.
Why
I don't
not?
want these curtains. It's too much. It's too much.
Okay.
So this scene for me, it did kind of like, oh, all right, they're going with the canopy bed.
Yeah.
I'm a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's Ben putting his face up against the canopy, not under the sheets.
Not
and that
under the
was the
sheets.
confusion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that trailer was shot in a way
Yes.
that was provocative.
Yes.
You know, we were a buzz and they wanted us to be.
Yes.
And I think it did. I mean, I almost feel bad revealing this because I do think that more, and it shows we're not bought by any companies. Like we're not.
No.
Paramount's not paying
doesn't
for
own
us. This is not like some actor's podcast doing a podcast about the business and then being sponsored by the movies.
Yes.
You're supposed to be
yes.
talking
Yeah,
about.
today's episode of me talking about the movie business is brought to you by this corporation who
that
works in the
makes
movie business.
movies. And so that's
Yeah.
a conflict of interest is what we call that.
Yes. Yes.
So this is not a podcast brought to you by Paramount Pictures PRIMATE.
Yes. Yes.
So we are not here to, we do want people to go see movies. And I think even without that happening, this is a worthwhile movie to see.
Well, that's it. That's what's so really telling about how great PRIMATE is that I wanted it to be a single white female blowjob scene. I wanted them to pay homage. I wanted that scene to be in this movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that, and I still love this movie.
Yes.
So that really shows you how good the rest of this movie was, that they didn't have what would have been the perfect scene. And somehow I liked it even more than I thought I was going to.
And again, we're not critics. And we did talk on, after we saw this movie, went for a walk into the HQ.
Yeah.
And we talked about how possibly this director got a few notes.
Okay.
On the script. And we talked about a few, and I do think there could have been in the script, hey, this happens the way you describe it. And then the studio got, these stuffed shirts, these suits,
the suits, the corporate suits,
say, oh no, you can't do that because that would be an X rating, and we don't want to do an X rating.
And not to stick up for suits, but I get it because the X rating would have really hurt the box office for PRIMATE. I get the artistic desire to stick to your principles. No, we have to have the single white female scene. Ben the chimp needs to be blowing him under the covers and then kills him. But that X rating would be a disaster. You can't release, you can't have Good Machine release PRIMATE.
And then also an X rating, people always think about like the people who won't be able to go because they're not old enough and things like that. You also have to think about how you're going to dress when you go to an X-rated movie.
Right.
That's the thing people don't think about is that like,
suit.
It's not just the age limit thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I don't think, oh, well, this is a PG-13 movie, so I have to wear a trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you have to be like, is my trench coat at the cleaners?
Right.
Is my full latex bodysuit, where did I put that? Where did I leave it?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because I don't have it. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So, like, did I take it to the dry cleaner or did I leave it at this underground club? I don't know.
Right.
So you have to.
Did I lose it? Yeah. Does someone else have it now? They wouldn't give it back.
Exactly. Yeah. Do I look in the closet at someone else's latex suit? We swapped latex suits.
Right.
Like it was some sort of like soccer match where the captains like swap their jerseys.
Right.
At the end.
Do I look in the closet and I see my latex suit and someone's currently in it?
Yeah, exactly. And so those
that's
are
an impediment to seeing this movie.
Exactly.
If it's X-rated. Yeah.
Where if it's R-rated, you're like, I'll wear a hoodie and I'll wear
noisy
jeans.
boots, and there you go.
Your noisy boots, yeah.
Yeah. So in the end, I'm glad they didn't do that. Ben, the chimp.
Mm-hmm.
He's great in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, oh, we got a new horror icon, he's sitting at the table, any of that. He's not ready for that. And listen, 11.3 opening weekend is really good, but it isn't automatic Ben sits at the table type of number.
Yeah.
But Ben is someone who I'd love to see more of. And I think he's going to be a memorable horror character that is going to be able to get continued interest in this movie in the next few weeks. I think people will be talking about Ben. I don't think Ben is just going to be forgotten by Tuesday. I think people will be abuzz about Ben, and there will be chatter. And I feel like Primate could have some legs because I think Ben is someone that is going to be part of the conversation in this country.
I mean, I think there's got to be good word of mouth. We'll obviously spread the word about this movie. I think if you really want to try and push this movie, you have a commercial where the #1 horror film in America, the #1 monkey primate based movie in America. You shoot a commercial where, step aside other horror icons that have failed. You have him tearing Chauncey the bear's head off.
Oh, yeah.
You have him throwing Megan over a hill, over into the water. You have him beat up on some of these other horror icons,
well,
but only ones that can't fight back, like ones that are already dead. Like Megan's dead, Chauncey's dead.
Yeah. Well, do you have him because
you have him turn his back on the swimming pool?
Oh, you could. Yes, that he's like, I'm not going in.
I'm
there.
not even because
no
everybody
one
knows about
did.
Ben, and it's like that's the last one where he's like, all right, I'm not messing with swimming pool.
Yeah, he doesn't swim. So what about? And I know he's not a horror icon, but Lyle Crocodile, famous failure, famously got kicked out of Hollywood because his movie did nothing.
I think he's so irrelevant.
But there is, Ben loves messing with Jaws. Like not Jaws a shark. I'm saying like actual, if you're looking at it on YouTube, I'm touching my jaw. He loves messing with Jaws. What better thing for Ben to do than to take a Lyle Crocodile and just split his big alligator jaws apart?
Yeah.
Like, I think that is a cool visual. That is great for a marketing campaign. There was a stuffed bear in Primate.
Yeah, it should have been Chauncey.
It should have been Chauncey.
He should have ripped its head off.
Yeah. But was Imaginary a Paramount release? They just might not have had the Chauncey IP, though the Chauncey IP feels like you could buy that.
Chauncey's Universal.
Yeah, Chauncey's Universal.
Because he's Blumhouse.
Yeah.
I basically was having him beat up on all these loser Blumhouse people just because they still, to a wide group of people, represent horror. Yeah. Although it would have been great to see Chauncey tear that dumb monkey from that Osgood Perkins movie apart.
Oh,
that would have been the one.
Drummond monkey. Yeah. That would have been cool. Heroes. That's the thing is I think there's a lot you could do with Ben in these coming weeks if Paramount. And that's the thing. Are they going to put some more money? Or are they going to stay on marketing Primate? Or are they looking at it as we got our 11.3 opening. Whoever's going to go is going to go. And we're done here. I hope that's not the case.
You have Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay.
Who is, I think, he's promoting something. I think his Tide Pod commercials. There's a new running of the Tide Pod commercials.
Yes.
Because it's playoff time.
Yeah. And he's got a couple open mics that he's hitting up that he wants people to know about.
And you have John Mulaney.
Okay.
And you do a bit where the two of them, with their pronounced jaws, are interviewing Ben, and he's got to resist.
Yes.
Those juicy.
Not enhanced in any way. Those are all natural. Mulaney's jaw now, the fact that it doesn't look at all like it did 2 years ago, that's just like people age.
People age.
And they grow their jaws.
Yeah.
Their jaws grow.
Their jaws grow.
Yeah.
And, they're asking him questions and goofing around with him. You just do the Dreamweaver music. showing their jaws.
And Ben is dreaming
seeing it, and
about-
it's like you hear Dreamweaver and all that stuff.
Dreamweaver,
Yeah. And I believe you can get me through the night.
And he's looking at that.
You only see Mulaney's jaw moving.
Yeah.
That's the bit.
Yeah. Or, okay. So then you continue it on. John Mulaney, he goes to the jaw doctor. You know, because everyone goes to a jaw doctor, and he goes to his jaw doctor.
Do you have your appointment? I had my appointment
Everyone
when I
has their
turned
appointments.
when I turned 35.
Yes. And he goes there, and he's like, all right, I need a little touch-up, a little old jaw touch-up. And the doctor's got his back to him in the doctor's coat. You just see the doctor's coat. Doctor spins around on the chair.
He's got the thing on his head, the circular thing that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a stethoscope, spins around. Ben the chimp, it's jaw time.
Oh.
It's time to rearrange the jaw.
Yeah, that's the
PRIMATE
Ben's the doctor.
Yeah. See, that is.
Oh, and
he's
he's a PD, a primate doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it says on his thing.
On his door.
Yeah. His door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to stay on it. You got a good movie here. This is a good movie, crowd pleasing movie. The young people were into it. It skewed young.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the demos, I think it was like 35% Caucasian, 35% Hispanic, like a nice diverse audience there. Young people are going. Ben's a cool chimp, but we get him out there. Get him out there. Get him on the chat shows.
It's about penetration. Ben. You have to allow Ben to penetrate.
Yes.
You know?
Can we get Ben eating the wings, or doing a chicken chop date, or get him tasting the
I mean, frankly, I'd love to let him loose on
bananas.
that chicken shop date.
On the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happens.
Yeah. And you love Lad Bible.
I love Lad Bible.
Can we get Ben on Lad Bible, U.S. bananas, U.K. bananas? What's it?
Yes. Yes.
Get him out there.
Great.
Get him out there. Having seen this movie.
And I'm sure one of the female actresses in this movie is British. Has to be.
I would assume at this point, even though all of the characters were American, all the actors
have
British accents.
Yeah, they have to. The whole up and down, that whole cast probably has British accents.
Classically trained.
Yeah.
They all could sing opera,
Yes.
and they could do sketch comedy, and they Shakespearean plays, and then they're in this teen monkey goes crazy horror movie. But they all are British. Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume. Yeah. This movie is fantastic. 11.3. Obviously, we thought higher, but we were so in the mindset that this was going to have the single white female blowjob scene. So
yeah, we were skewed by that.
But I do think this is a movie that could potentially have some legs the next few weeks. I mean, we'll talk about in the next episode is 28 years later. Bone Temple is next weekend, and it is PRIMATE going to grow?
Yeah.
Or is that movie going to just sort of take the thunder?
Yeah, my take here, as much as we like this movie and we love Ben, all of these things that we're putting out there as ways to help Ben penetrate aren't going to happen. And so I do think that this movie is sort of dead after this weekend because of Bone Temple.
We'll see. I want...
Because it only has a 50% definite recommend. So it's not like the voice of the people is saying you must see Ben.
What do you think the reason for that is? I mean, with horror, it's always tricky because somehow it always ends up happening that people go to horror movies and then don't like it because it was scary and violent.
I think the reasons why we've talked about this, and we won't get into it because we don't want to spoil anything, the reasons we enjoyed it, I think a lot of audiences, even if they go see a lot of horror movies, especially recent horror movies, are going to be turned off by a few of the decisions.
Okay.
That's my thought.
Yeah. It is very R-rated. They go for it in this movie. And yeah,
But it's not the gore. I think it's I don't want to get into it, but I do
Okay,
think there's
okay.
reasons why someone would be upset with this movie
okay,
because they're used to. I don't want to.
okay,
Because it's giving stuff away.
okay.
I think it's like it feels like an old school slasher where everybody is up for grabs.
Yes, yeah. So we got a couple of Primate emails.
Oh.
First one here is from Wannabe Oh Boy Joe. Subject: Primate was something. Boys, let's talk Primate. Saw it over the weekend with only 10 other people occupying a 100-person theater. Probably warranted. I laughed several times without the movie, which tried to be horror. Felt like a night swim, which I didn't see, part 2, or something. Fun watch, but we'll never see again. Stay strong. Okay.
Stay strong. Felt like a movie I'd never seen.
Fun. Yeah, he did compare it to a movie, the sequel to a movie which he's never seen. So
I get why, because a pool is in this movie.
yeah, you got to see the movie though, because
Joe.
not all pool movies are exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of movies that have pools in them. They're not all the same movie.
Yeah.
But stay strong. Stay strong. I guess
I sort of don't like that.
you don't like to stay strong
don't,
at the
no,
end.
don't, because I don't know what that means. I don't want to know what that means.
Okay.
Strong against what? Strong for what?
Okay. And it's the presumption that we were strong before and he wants us to stay that way. It's almost like ending your email, stay on steroids.
Yeah, I don't know. Just say thanks.
Just say thanks. Okay.
Don't make bold statements like stay strong.
Stay strong because, yeah, you might feel like, well, what am I supposed to start doing? I start injecting, start eating chicken and broccoli. Yeah.
I don't even know if it's physically strong.
Oh, okay. You don't want to be told to stay mentally strong because were you ever?
No, I don't know. There's something I don't like about it.
Okay.
And it's fine that I don't like it, and just don't do it.
Okay.
When you send an email, don't tell us to stay strong.
Okay. So Wannabe Oh Boy Joe.
He's all over the map.
He's all over the map here. All right.
Joe, we want another email from you.
Yes.
Please email us, but do better.
Well, don't end it with stay strong.
But also do better.
Overall. He did, though, give us great boots on the ground in that he was at a 100-seat theater.
We love it.
And there was only 10 people. So he did the math. I got to give him that with this email. He sat down, he counted seats, he counted people.
Yeah.
And that in the end, that is the main thing we want from an email.
Yes.
Do the math. So I say good email. He did the math. Thank you, Wannabe Oh Boy Joe.
I think all emailers could do better.
Okay. You're always wanting.
You don't want to give people room to grow.
You don't want to end your correspondence with stay strong. You want to end it with do better.
Well, my blanket statement to everybody who interacts with us is do better.
Do better.
You can always do better.
Yeah. And we're going to be here for a long time. The show is going to go on for decades.
And I'm not saying don't bother. I'm not telling Joe to never email us again. I look forward to the next email to see the progression.
Yes. Yeah, because we are growing. We're always getting better. And we want our audience to also get better.
Yes.
Got another Primate email from Wannabe Oh Boy Jason. Subject: the Brett Arnold bump. Guys, I think you figured out why Bury the Dead has done so well. My buddy wanted to see a movie last week, so I gave him a rundown of what was playing, reviews from other shows. I'm sorry, this is not a Primate email. Anyway, I gave him a rundown of what was playing and reviews from other shows. He went to go see Bury the Dead based on the review I gave him, which was from Brett Arnold from his Roger and Me podcast. Brett Arnold bumps again. Wannabe Oh Boy Jason. Now, we talked about another listener a week ago went to see this movie because of a recommendation from the New Flesh.
Yeah.
Our chief horror correspondent, Brett. His recommendation getting more and more people to this Daisy Ridley zombie drama.
Well, so
Bury the Dead.
Here's the thing.
It's a real bump.
We don't know what Brett said about Primate yet.
No.
So he has the ability to give the old bump.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know what his review of it has been. But there's that possibility, we're talking whether this thing is going to die when Bone Temple comes to town. It's up to Brett whether this thing dies. You know? Is this a rotten banana, or is it gonna is it gonna stay ripe for a few more weekends?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that is why it usually drops on Monday. New Flesh podcast. I'm sure they're going to be delving deep into Primate on this next episode. I'd be shocked if that is not the lead story on the New Flesh.
And it also, well, we'll talk. Do you have another Primate email?
I don't think I have another Primate email, so let's stay on.
You made it seem like there's multiple Primate emails and there was only one.
There was only one. I did jump to thinking that the Brett Arnold bump was about Primate. It was
okay. So HOUSEMAID is breathing down Ben's neck.
Yeah.
And by Monday, HOUSEMAID could be the number 2 movie in America.
It could be.
And so I do think that matters. Because when you look at the charts, they know Avatar is going to be number 1. Avatar almost isn't even in the race anymore because we know Avatar is going to rule until a certain point, right?
Well, I mean, I guess we'll save it for the preview episode because Avatar was number 1 this weekend with 21 million. So next weekend actually is the first time there is a shot of Avatar being dethroned.
That's what I'm saying.
But we'll save it for that.
But what I'm saying is that I think this weekend people were assuming, okay, Avatar's number 1. What's 2?
Yeah.
What is the other than Avatar most popular movie in America?
Yep.
And if, Primate gets that spot, that means a lot to Primate.
Yeah.
And I think if it is beaten by HOUSEMAID, the headlines are HOUSEMAID continues its surprise, triumph, or its surprise success.
Well, and again, this is for the preview episode, but I mean, I'll announce it because it's, we got a confirmation via text. The great Chris Klemmer, the Compact Critic, is scheduled, barring act of God, to be on our next episode, our preview episode. I think the conversation for that episode, Bone Temple coming out, Avatar was number 1 this weekend, HOUSEMAID is going to end up having either been 2nd or 3rd based on the Monday actuals. HOUSEMAID next weekend has a chance to do a Something About Mary and get itself to number 1 deep into its run.
Wait,
I think
so
that is a topic.
What's it at? It's at 12 right now.
It made 11.2, maybe it'll be 11.3. Avatar Fire and Ash made 21.3. I think that gap is close. Well, let's save that for when Chris is here in studio. But I do think HOUSEMAID has that narrative, has that potential to do that.
And that's great that we're having Klemmer in because we'll make sure that all the tech is working.
Yeah. He's a great sound check.
Yeah. For Kirk 20, which will happen at some point.
Yeah. So let's talk about HOUSEMAID now that we're on it. So like you said, it's Monday actuals. It could end up number 2 very easily. There was a big Variety article just a day ago.
And this was a hit piece or not a hit piece?
No, this was a puff piece. This was a puff piece, definitely a puff
You're right.
piece.
They do 2 things. They do hit pieces and puff pieces.
Yeah.
And that's it.
This was a puff piece, and good on them. The movie's a hit. It should have puff pieces. It shouldn't have hit pieces. A hit movie should get puff pieces, not hit pieces. So, I mean, the subject of the title of the Variety article is Inside the Surprise Success of Sydney Sweeney Thriller The HOUSEMAID, a Family Feud appearance that went viral, servicing an underserved female audience. Very long, not very catchy title for a
But interesting
article.
that they say Sydney Sweeney is the star of that movie, because you would disagree with that.
I would say she is the second person in that movie. I would say she is the star of that movie and not the best actor in the movie. But again, that doesn't matter.
Who's going to be in the sequel, though, Pat?
The
star of the movie.
It is announced Sydney Sweeney is in the sequel.
Who's the star of the movie?
She is the titular HOUSEMAID. So we could say for sure Sydney Sweeney is the titular character.
Yes.
We could say that. So, but this Variety article, really goes into depth about how the cast of HOUSEMAID appearing on a Celebrity Family Feud in the early December, they posit that that is a major reason why this movie is a hit. And the idea for that came from Sydney Sweeney. So Paul Feig is talking about, this is a quote from Paul Feig, the director. He says, Sid goes, we've got to go on Family Feud. And I'm like, that's a hilarious idea. I called HOUSEMAID and said, Sid wants to do Family Feud. And they're like, we'll make it happen.
Wait, he called HOUSEMAID?
I called Lionsgate and
Okay.
said, Sid wants to do Family Feud. And they're like, we'll make it happen. So the team HOUSEMAID, which was Paul Feig, Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried. I'm assuming the guy who plays the husband was one of the other people. I don't know who the other person would be in this movie.
Okay.
Maybe the cinematographer or something. They filled it out. But
who did they debate? Who did they feud with? Do you know?
it doesn't say who they feuded with. It just says the episode went viral, 1.5 million video views within the linear window, and it set the stage for the thriller to become a global phenomenon. So that episode aired on December 5th.
Okay.
And then the movie opened on December 19th. The article goes on to talk about where it's at box office wise, 55 million budget. It's already made 140 million going into this past weekend. So now this is a quote from the film chair of Lionsgate, Adam Fogelson. So big wig at Lionsgate. He says, Sydney understands her brand as well as anyone I've ever met, and her willingness to go on Celebrity Family Feud should not be treated lightly. You could imagine someone with that level of star power sort of saying, I'm not sure I want to do that. And Sydney not only did it, she did it with joy, as did Amanda, Brandon, and Paul, all coming together to make it happen. So that is head of Lionsgate, film chair of Lionsgate, talking about Sydney Sweeney and how she made this Celebrity Family Feud happen. So Clayton, all that said, does this make you credit the success of the HOUSEMAID even more to Sydney Sweeney because she made this Family Feud appearance happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously it went viral.
Yep.
To whatever
1.5
extent.
million linear views.
Linear views. And yeah, I mean, you're somebody who's the ambassador for not understanding what her audience wants. And here's an article.
I just didn't like she had 3 big old flopperoos leading into the HOUSEMAID.
Here's, again, it's only 2 flopperoos. We've talked about this.
We're not counting Americana.
Yes, that was a house at the end of the street situation.
Okay, so
they tried to drag her down with that. They tried to say, "Hey, gotcha. Remember when you did this movie when you had no other alternative?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna throw this here in the pot, screw you up." It's like when you do Mario Kart and somebody like throws one of those
grenades at you,
shells at you or something.
Yeah. Okay, so we could agree Sydney Sweeney had 2 big old flopperoos heading into the HOUSEMAID.
And now she's got a big old hit.
Yeah, she's the titular character of a big old hit.
Coming back for the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
First person they signed other than Feig, which you can understand why.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't think this can be understated, the level of saying like, hey, let's do this fun, interesting thing. Look what it did for Marty Supreme. Someone like Timothée Chalamet is using all these other avenues that other actors wouldn't go on, and using them to his advantage to get the word out on a movie that is also a hit.
Yep.
Sydney Sweeney is doing the same thing. And yeah, I think the way you're reading this article, I think you're doing exactly what the Lionsgate gentleman is saying you shouldn't do. Because you got sort of a smirk when you're talking about it and acting as if like, isn't this a little bit goofy?
You're accusing me of treating this lightly.
Yeah, and I think this
not.
is exactly what the Lionsgate, the head of Lionsgate is saying not to do. And you're doing exactly what he said not to do and what all these other pundits who want to bury Sydney Sweeney are trying to do.
I am not treating this appearance on Celebrity
You're just
Family
upset
Feud
she's not
lightly.
on the reality show you want her to be a cast member on.
I mean, we can say in a way I was right because I did say she would be a reality star and she went on Celebrity
Being
Family
on a
Feud.
game show is not a reality star.
It's it's in the same, but it was. I get it was in the service of
a motion
movie.
picture.
100%. I am not treating this lightly. Again, this is what the film
I think you
chair
are
of
treating it
Lionsgate
lightly,
said.
frankly.
Sydney understands her brand as well as anyone I've ever met, and her willingness to go on Celebrity Family Feud should not be treated lightly. And I, B.O. Boy Pat, I mean, direct into camera, I'll say this because we are YouTubers. Hey, guys. I am not treating Sydney Sweeney's willingness to go on Celebrity Family Feud lightly at all.
Okay.
At all. Clayton, full stop.
Okay.
Full stop. Sydney Sweeney's willingness to go on Celebrity Family Feud is important.
Yes. And
Period. Full stop.
Great. I'm glad you're giving it the proper weight.
Yeah. I would not treat that lightly. I would not treat. Listen, I could imagine, like Adam Fogelson of Lionsgate said, I could imagine somebody with that level of star power sort of saying, I would not want to do that. I could imagine that. And she didn't do it.
No.
She did the show. She did not.
She did not do it.
She did not do it.
And sometimes it's better that you did do it than did not do it.
Yes. Yeah, and this is one of those cases.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think Glenn Powell would have? You know, he didn't do it for Running Man.
God, what game show could have helped that movie? Him going on Win, Lose, or Draw?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Is there? That was.
There's no move there. The difference is that yes, this should be given the proper weight. I think it's for her to do this show is important.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Yeah.
But also,
what if
this
they
is a movie.
What if they rebooted
Double Dare?
Double Dare, and Glenn Powell went on Double Dare.
Here's the thing:
Celebrity Double Dare to promote the Running Man.
I don't know if he would have done it, but you know who would have put on the goggles and the helmet and went down a tongue covered in slime? Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, yeah. Now you haven't. Here's the thing: you haven't seen The Housemaid, so you're actually kind of flying blind and even analyzing this promotional stunt because, and it's not a spoiler or surprise, Family Feud is mentioned several times in The Housemaid. It actually is part of the storyline. So there was a rhyme and reason to her saying, we've got to go on Celebrity Family Feud. She wasn't picking a game show out of a hat.
See, this makes sense because it's tied to a movie she is in.
100%.
Yeah.
No, this was a smart play, and that is why.
Okay.
I do not treat this lightly.
Good.
I do not treat her willingness to go on Celebrity Family Feud lightly because it was well thought out, well timed.
Mm-hmm.
The episode aired 2 weeks before the movie came out.
Gave it some time to go viral, the clips to be cut.
Yeah, linear views. Yeah. No, I do not treat this lightly.
Okay, good.
So
that's all I ask of you. That's all that he's asking of you.
Yeah. And I'm listen, would you ask of me one ear out the other? But the film chair of Lionsgate, okay. I'm going to take that seriously. Will I honor it every time? No, of course not. But I'm going to take that seriously. And I am not treating this lightly. So, yeah, this is every week it becomes a bigger win for Sydney Sweeney, for Amanda Seyfried, for The Housemaid. But I am looking forward to that talk with Chris Klemmer on the next episode because I do think we're starting to get into that territory where Housemaid could potentially pull us something about Mary. It'll be tough.
It would have to go up. It would have to get a huge bump somehow.
But we're starting to see Housemaid is starting to become a little bit of a phenomenon. And that kind of success starts to build off each other because people start talking about it and then they start thinking, can I be part of history? Anyway, we'll talk about that. And I also agree
with we are going into a barren time.
Yeah, we'll get to that on the next episode, but yeah, 28 years later, Bone Temple is the next big release next weekend, and we've got some doubts.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some doubts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we haven't talked at all, and I think we could go over this quickly. Greenland 2 Migration was the other newbie. It opened up
8.5.
8.5, number 5. This is also Lionsgate, and you're definitely seeing the redheaded stepchild syndrome when it comes to Greenland 2 Migration right now, because Lionsgate, all they care about is HOUSEMAID, chatting up how Sydney Sweeney went on Family Feud. Do you think that Gerard Butler, he asked Lionsgate, hey, could you get me on Celebrity Family Feud?
Yeah, and Lionsgate was like, we don't have a contact there.
We just don't know anyone there. Yeah.
And he's
But
they're not answering the calls about Greenland 3 right now. I mean, we love Jerry.
Yeah.
And Jerry's done well for Lionsgate, but I think Lionsgate is in such a bad way that they really are like, if something's successful, we need to ride that train.
Yes. And
he
can't blame them.
Gary kept them afloat, and they should respect him for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they properly are.
Yeah. But what could you do now? You've got to just go all in on this HOUSEMAID. You can't be farting around with Greenland 2 and trying to get them on Celebrity Family Feud. If anything, if you're Lionsgate, you're trying to get another episode of Celebrity Family Feud for the HOUSEMAID cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it opened lower than Jerry's usual January movies. Like Plane probably did 12 or 13. Den of Thieves 2 Pantera, I think, did around 15. So it opened.
But that's an IP at this point. Den of Thieves had the fact that people knew.
Yes, it was rewatchable. And yeah. But this did open lower. It opened lower than the Statham January, February movies usually do. It's pretty clear that this IP had no weight to people in the US. Even if they had seen it on HBO or PVOD, I think it was just a weird cognitive dissonance of, and now there's a sequel in theaters?
Yeah.
And people were just confused.
Yeah, I think honestly, and I do think, again, if you're an older audience right now, HOUSEMAID is your play.
Mm-hmm.
And then, honestly, if you're talking dudes, playoffs. I think Jerry's fans are gamblers.
Okay.
Or football watchers.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's anybody who watches football that doesn't gamble at this point.
Right, gamble.
Seems like, right? Yeah. So, so I think there is a level of that too.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, if they really wanted to see it, if it was something that they thought was going to be great, they would, DVR the game, and then they would just be monitoring their bets on their phone.
Yes.
But they maybe were like, yeah, I like the first one. There's a second one. Am I going out to the theater to see it? There's no rush.
Is that something, and I know there's always a lot of chatter about, people using phones at theaters. There's a whole big controversy this week because Alamo Drafthouse chain is switching from a pen and paper ordering system to an app.
Yeah.
So they're basically encouraging people to use their phones at the theater.
Yeah.
So there's always that. That's always a topic of discussion. But for a movie like Greenland 2, a January guy-skewing action movie where, like you said, a lot of the potential viewers are gambling addicts who are going to be gambling on a Sunday, on a Saturday.
Yeah, should they be able to gamble from the theater? Yes.
Yes.
Should there be tickers? Should it be sort of like, here's some screens that are showing the lines.
Right.
And then you're writing down what bet you want to make and giving it to the person.
To an AMC employee who will then make that bet for you. Yeah. I think a Jerry Butler movie, that's going to help the box office. If you could tell the gambling addicts, we're going to show you the scores, we're going to take your bets.
Yeah.
You give us a slip of paper, we'll bring it we'll have a bookie on site.
Yes.
We've got a concession stand and we've got a bookie, and you write down your bet and we'll bring it to the bookie. You can write down your popcorn order, we'll bring it to the concession stand. And just don't mix those up.
Don't mix them up. Yeah.
I think a movie, and you don't want to do this for every movie. It's sort of like the you know how they have the closed caption screenings at a theater, and it gives a time. Okay, the 1 p.m. screening. This is a closed captioning on the screen. You do that for gambling addicts.
Yes,
Or
this is the gambling. Yes, this
there's
is
a sports scores on the screen showing of Greenland 2
and here's the thing,
Migration.
AMC gets a little taste. AMC gets a little taste of these bets.
Yes, gets a little the vig. Yeah.
Yeah, why doesn't AMC have a sports book
I think that
for some of these manly movies?
yes. Any Jerry Butler movie, any Jason Statham movie, it should come with the ability to gamble while you're watching the movie, get the updates of the scores. Yeah, and you're not going to do this for Hamnet. A screening of Hamnet
No.
is going to not be part of the AMC Sportsbook.
Yeah.
Though, could that get some viewers
I don't
who wouldn't normally go see
That's true. Okay,
Hamnet?
so yeah.
Because then you don't want to close off that kind of movie from that potential audience.
That's true, but I think that's a Marty Supreme move too. Like I think if you had somebody who is a degenerate gambler,
Yes,
and isn't so sold on an A24 ping pong movie, but then they see a showing where you can gamble while you're watching it,
yeah.
I do think that would have added a lot to the box office.
Okay, what if a movie like Marty Supreme, where there's ping pong matches, including a big one towards the end. There's ping pong matches that play out in the movie. What if the AMC Sportsbook allowed gambling addicts who go see Marty Supreme to gamble on the results of the games that are played in the movie?
Well, see that the issue with that is that if you've seen the movie already, you know the outcome, so that doesn't work. Yeah, so that's impossible.
You could do that opening night, maybe.
Yeah, as a gimmick. I think if you have your own sports book, because yes, the sports gambling aspect could be there, but here's another thing with it, is that you have the Hamnet showing, and you have the lines on, who's going to win for awards, like Oscars, for Golden Globes and things like that.
Right, let them bet on it.
You let them bet, because you have a guy who goes there and he's watching Buckley,
mm-hmm.
and he's thinking, she's going to win.
Right.
This is in the bag, but, it looks tasty to go for
Rose Byrne.
Yeah. So he could be like, I'm going to take the odds that she could upset, even though I do think Jessie Buckley is doing the best performance. Right. I think those you have gambling showings of these Oscar movies.
Yes.
And that's what's going to bring more people in that wouldn't normally see it, because then they have money. They have a horse in the race.
Yes.
Where they wouldn't normally have a horse in the race when they're watching Secret Agent.
Right.
Like, have these gambling addicts go see Secret Agent, because this Mora guy could have an outside shot, or at least if he, if there's enough action, they'll take it.
Yes. Yeah, because A Secret Agent is a movie that degenerate gambling football fan audience, maybe they're not going to see it, but if they could bet on it while they're watching the movie, that's money in the box office for The Secret Agent.
And this needs to trickle down to these awards and these, the Oscars especially, but all these awards need to give rankings of who was second, who was third, who was fourth, because then you can place.
Yes.
And once you can place, if you put some money on Rose Byrne and she places second, you still get something.
Well, you do parlays,
yes.
You do all sorts of, like horse racing, you're betting, can I get all 4 in a row?
Yes.
And
and it's ridiculous. I mean, William Goldman, the greatest screenwriter of all time, a great man who wrote 2 amazing books on screenwriting, was a great BS reports guest back in the day. R.I.P. He's always said this. We need to know where everybody landed.
Yeah.
And I think now with gambling making sports more popular, this is what has to happen with these awards.
Yeah. AMC Sportsbook, for sure. I think that's great. I think listen, I grew up in the old neighborhood. OTBs were everywhere. Every corner you had a bodega, you had a bar, you had a church, you had an OTB. Those are the four corners, the four pillars of every area in the old neighborhood. You don't see OTBs anymore. They're gone the way of the dodo. That audience still exists. The people who
now they're Dwayne Reeds, right?
Now they're all Dwayne Reeds.
Yeah.
All the old OTBs are Dwayne Reeds. The churches are Dwayne Reeds. And then all the Dwayne Reeds are closed.
Yeah.
Take those, what used to be OTBs, you put them in an AMC.
Mm-hmm.
And that audience, they're alive. They're not in great shape, but they're alive.
And they're itching.
And that'll be a place for them to go. They'll go see the Gerard Butler movie. They wouldn't have gone this weekend, but if you let them gamble and you let them know the scores while they're watching the Gerard Butler movie, they'll go see it.
And this is perfect. The thing about this sort of gambling is like, yes, the gambling on sports, you can do it there, but you can also do the gambling on these the Oscars and stuff. It's like you're not going to have an actor be like, I'm going to throw this performance.
No.
In order to not get nominated and then make money off of it. Right. It's like you're not going to have what's his face, that the cobbler that is also the greatest actor that everybody always says.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis. He's never going to
throw a performance.
Never.
He's not going to be like, hey, I'm going to do this movie with my son that sucks and is stupid, so that everybody's gambling on me to get an Oscar nomination, but then I don't, and therefore I make money.
Right.
That doesn't make sense, and it won't happen.
It doesn't make sense, for sure.
So that it's one of those things you can gamble on that you know that the fix isn't in.
Yeah. I love this. I think that, that would have helped the Gerard Butler movie this weekend. Get gambling fully baked into the movie-going experience. Ticket takers coming by, getting your gambling slips. OTB stands right next to the concessions.
And then if you don't break up, they break your leg in the theater.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they charge you for a ticket for every show until you can hobble out of there.
Yes. And that's more work for acne-scarred teenagers, for elderly men whose family wants nothing to do with them. They get their jobs at the movie theater, filling popcorn buckets, and cracking skulls when movie patrons can't pay off their gambling debts.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So, gamble. You got to gamble.
How do we feel about Marty Supreme right now? It is the second biggest grossing A24 movie ever right now.
Yep, it passed Civil War. It's got to 70 million. Civil War did 67 point something.
It's going to beat Everywhere All at Once, which I think is 74 or 77.
77. So it'll pass that. Listen, it's at 70 million. It's going to definitely get to 80.
Yeah.
It's got an outside shot at 90 or 100. I would say right now, the safe money, if you were a betting man, which everyone should be, because gamble.
I mean, and that's another aspect of it, box office numbers.
Yes. Then
bet on those. Over-unders.
We're going to have our own sportsbook, too.
Yes.
The Boy Sportsbook, of course.
Well, and our cellular phone company and our insurance company, all that.
Yeah, energy drinks and everything.
But it's all on a bedrock of gambling.
Yes, gambling. Everything is it's the pinwheel, but the center of the pinwheel is our sportsbook. Yeah. And then it's the cell phone companies and the energy drinks and, the surgeries and everything come out of that pinwheel.
Yeah, the at-home surgeries.
At-home surgeries. So if I was a betting man, which, again, everyone should be all the time gambling, I would bet that it's an $80 to $100 million range. And I think it'll, at this point, probably 90 million. Safe bet is somewhere in the middle of that. Listen, there's no world in which this movie isn't a success.
Yeah.
A ping pong movie that's going to do possibly around 90 domestic. They're rolling it out worldwide. It wasn't day and date. They're doing it territory by territory. I think they've done like 6 different countries, dozens more in the next few weeks. And it's gonna, hopefully, for that movie, make more money as Timmy wins some visible
Well,
awards,
that's the other
wins a
thing.
Golden Globe, gets some Oscar nominations, it gets a Best Picture nomination. Now, the thing I was seeing, and I haven't been able to confirm this as of the time we got on mic, there are rumors that it's going to PVOD first week in February. Now, I can't confirm that as of this moment, so it's just pure speculation, but there are rumors based on some I guess, possible DVD news, but rumors that it's going to PVOD starting early February. And obviously we think that would be a mistake. I get the desire to, this movie's hot, people are talking about it, it's going to do gangbusters when it goes to PVOD, but A24, hold off a little bit.
But
hold off.
But there's still 3 weeks in January. How much do you think it's just because then they will go back to the theater to see it instead of when there's the awards buzz and all that stuff, they're going to then have the ability to PVOD it and not go to the theater. You want them to only be able to go to the theater to see it.
I think
when this real Oscar buzz kicks in.
Yeah, I think for a movie that's made $7.6 million in its fourth weekend, it's going to get a ton of Oscar nominations the end of January. It's the type of movie, and listen, it's not the 90s anymore, I get that, but it's the type of movie that you would love to see Marty Supreme be theaters only for another couple of months. And I think if that's the case, it's a movie that could still be doing $3-4 million a weekend all the way through February.
Yeah, but you even know that's not the reality we live in.
But this could be one of those movies that is going to do that because it's not a movie everyone has to rush out to see. Buzz is really important. Other than Wuthering Heights, February is pretty light. So you could see the case where stuff like HOUSEMAID and Marty Supreme could just keep racking up solid $3-4 million weekends a month from now. So I get it. Get it on PVOD while it's really out there, and it'll probably just make a ton of money there. But I would hold off on that.
And here's what, this is my thing with that. If you're going to do it, and you see movies doing this, they go up to like $29.99 for
sure.
Make it $100.
Make it $100 PVOD for that first month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone will pay it.
Someone will pay it. Make it a premium. Like then people will be like, it's $100. But guess what? How much it is at the theater? 17.
Yeah.
20, 25, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
If you live in the greatest city in the world, you're going to pay $23.
Right.
If you live in some shithole, you're going to pay 17.
Yeah.
Or 14.
Yeah.
Right?
Depending on how shitty the hole is.
Exactly.
And we say that listen, it'd be great if you live in the shittiest hole there is, and it's still like $8 movie tickets.
Yeah. So
good for you.
So yeah, make it a premium. I mean, maybe 100's too much, but you make it $50.
Yeah, make it $50.
And then you're like, well, it makes more sense for me to go see other people than spend $50.
Yes.
But again, people will do it.
Yeah. So I think that movie is completely a success. Just a couple of quick emails before we go here. Got a follow-up from wannabe oh boy Chris, who a couple of weeks sent us a great email. His song Sung Blue family experience, boots on the ground reporting, and he had given us some ballpark ages for his family.
Well, he was keeping his family anonymous because anonymity is so important.
So important. It's so important. And so he gave us some ballparks, and then we basically said actually what his wife's age would be, is what we said. So Chris replied, enjoyed hearing your eloquent reading of my email on air. Also just discovered my wife is only 35. Fuck, who knew? So
there you go.
There you go. Chris, you're welcome. You're welcome, Chris. We got a couple other emails that I think give us some stuff to go over with the great Chris Klemmer on our next episode. We'll be previewing.
So you don't trust Klemmer to be able to create content?
I just want to be able to talk with Klemmer for as long as possible.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Okay.
Is to just have so much to talk about.
Because it
that
makes
we're
it feel like you're going to be like, I guess
Oh no!
here's an email
I want
you can talk about.
I want a 3-hour episode with Chris.
Because I think Chris Clemmer can create his own content. I don't think we need to
Hold
pull out.
anything?
I don't think we need to pull out like mailbag
I
to
just,
give him something to do.
I
think,
just know listeners would be so overjoyed. So that's why send us your emails, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Send us emails that you specifically want to be read to and replied to by Chris Clemmer.
And this is
It's a great opportunity
Yes.
for our audience.
And
Have
this
Chris
is a
Clemmer
case-
talk about what they wrote.
Yeah, and this is a case where I think you can get extremely personal
Yes.
and ask very personal questions, and we will not let him leave without answering them.
Yes.
In a manner that we find to be as truthful as he's capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
Without maybe having extensive therapy. I don't know his therapy background. But
Yeah.
there are certain things you can't answer because you're just not in touch with those parts of you.
Okay.
And so we'll let him off the hook there.
Okay.
But if we feel like he's like diverting and we know how
Get back on track.
Yeah. And like give us a straight answer.
So send us
Because that door locks.
Yes.
And only we know how to unlock it.
Yes. It's not as easy as you think.
It's not.
So email us, theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on social media @theboboyspod. Subscribe to the Substack. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are YouTubers. Hey guys. 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And yeah, next episode's going to be big. Weekend preview. Chris Clemmer, barring an act of God, scheduled to be on the next episode. So send us emails and Chris Clemmer can reply to them on air. That's huge.
He must reply if he wants to ever leave.
To leave, yeah. Which maybe he doesn't. He's always enjoyed it in here. Maybe he just like, hey, I live here now.
Maybe he's like, I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
Yeah.
So he goes full Rorschach.
Yes. Which, all right, if you're recasting that movie again, Clemmer gets an audition. He gets a Rorschach audition.
I think so.
Yeah, he gets an audition. But that's the next episode. But as for this episode, Clayton, I got nothing left. Nothing left.
I know. You could tell by the end.
Yeah.
It was pretty evident by the end.
Oh, yeah.
But you said so much.
So much. I got nothing left to say, so.
But you denied even more.
Oh, God.
834.
Not a rallying cry.
Listen.
If Ben is not a gorilla, and 834 is not a rallying cry.
Wait. Okay. I'm wrapping my head around that.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Yep. Nope. It's not getting any traction in there. But yeah, that's it, Pat. There's nothing left to be said.
All right, I can unlock the store now and get out of here.
Except for, until next time, we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it. Hey, guys.